everybody. The airplanes are out today, so I don't know, what's gonna happen with this filming setup. Whether I'm gonna have to press pause a lot, or whether I'm gonna be able to film right through. So let's just get started. Here comes an airplane. Okay, let's hope that's the last of them. So we're gonna kind of use this to give us an idea. See how we have this little tab up here? So we're gonna cut this up. We're going to use it to make a lovely floating folder that looks quite similar to this, but at the same time different. So what I want to do is, we got some gunk on the end right here. We're going to want to get rid of that. And as much as you guys think that this tab needs to stay on here so we can use it, this is just kind of an idea. So we're going to cut it off. And I think I can get two folders out of this. Let's go ahead and grab our cutting board, and we will be using the sewing machine on this one. If you do not have a sewing machine, that is perfectly okay. I'm just gonna guesstimate and cut right down the middle. Mine's a little dull, so bear with me. And for those of you that know me or are on my channel a lot, this is like one of my religious tools. I use it religiously. So now we're going to go ahead and chop off this little tab here. And I'm just going to use my fingers, close this, make sure the tab is under there a little bit, and use my fingers just to push it up as close to the edge as possible. See, it's gone now. Now there's still a little lip there, but that can be adjusted. And the one thing I did notice about this board, and I did have a couple people mention it to me as well, we're just cutting off this nasty. Fish Arcs, if you're listening, this board cuts crooked. And I have noticed that over the longevity of owning it. I really love this board. It has treated me well, but I have to angle my paper a specific way sometimes to make sure that it cuts straight. For instance, I'll use this bottom line right here to straighten it up with, and then go ahead and make my cut. That way I know it is straight. Especially once you get past this bend, do not use these lines here to measure. You will end up with a crooked cut. Just FYI. See how I'm sitting here and down here is straight, but up here is a little not straight. Like here there's a gap, and as you go up to here, there's no gap. So I usually try and use this bottom line here to measure, or I keep it flush with this piece here. Don't use this piece, it'll make it crooked. I don't know. Yeah, you guys saw that was in the shot. So now we got this trimmed up, and I don't like this bend here, so I am going to go ahead and cut that off. I'm thinking about this folding in half and how it would look as a file folder, and I think I am content with it. All right, let's go ahead and I want to cut out these bends, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it off. Now, I went ahead and bought one of these a long time ago, and I'm happy with it when I do bulk folding and stuff, but sometimes I end up with it being off just a tad bit for some reason. And I'm not happy with that. I really don't like, setting a piece of paper. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to fold it long ways to get the vanilla folder look. Now, it is 8.5 inches, which means it would be 4 1/4 to meet the halfway point. So I want to kind of show you guys what I mean. 4 1/4, so perfect, right where that mark is. All right, I'm going to pick it up and just fold. Perfect. And I'm going to use my bone folder to finish flattening it out. And you see what I mean? You got this little lip here. I don't like that. Every time I fold something on this board, I end up with a little lip. So the one thing I learned is, if I go ahead and I take this and I put it on 4 1/4, and you see right here, it's crooked. So let's try and line it up. Maybe we might get lucky. Put it on 4 1/4, a little bit under because I cut off that. Let's make sure here. This one is 9, a little over 9, so it's 9 1/8. 9 divided in half is, I'm sorry, I'm bad at math, so I'm just going to cheat. I'm going to fold it right in the middle, and I'm just going to pinch right there at the top. Nothing big. And approximately right there would be 4.5, just a little above a half because of the, it was about a quarter over a half. So we're going to put it in between the quarter, or the eighth, I mean. So it'd pretty much be a 16th, I guess. Let's move our little, we're going to move this out of the way. And I have the Tim Holtz folder here. I love this thing. And I'm just going to use this and point it like this. And go ahead and push directly down. And now you have an exact measurement from here. That's what I like about this. Let's go ahead and fold and push. See, you do have a wonderful score mark here. And it is nearly right on the money. Nearly perfect. I think the only reason why it isn't 100% perfect is because we cut it a little perfect. And that is, or cut it a little perfect. Cut it a little crooked. So that is okay. We can go ahead and go in and trim off these little imperfections if you like. And make sure that it's nice and straight. Perfect. Alright, now we have 2 here. Ready to go. Also, the one thing I like about it, using the board, is you don't have to spend extra money on the folder if you haven't bought it already. I've bought it already, so I mean, I have it, I might as well use it. And don't get me wrong, for some projects it is a convenient board to have. I'm just cleaning it up. I have an idea on what I want to do. Let's go ahead and grab these. Now, I want this to be my primary color. Oh, you know what? Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. So, obviously, we got to take measurements off these. I didn't do any specific measurements. So, it's 7.25 by 8.5. We'll just do 7.25 by 8.5 and we can trim them down. So, 7.25 by 8.5. It was a little under, so I'm just gonna do it a little bit under for argument's sake. And this end here, we gotta smooth it out. Now, if you're like me and you're a cheater, pumpkin eater, you'll just fold it right there. The tool that I just randomly put somewhere and have no idea where it is. There it is. Alright, so now we're just going to line up our bend. Perfect! Easy as pie. And if it is off by like millimeters, I mean like not even that much, you can manipulate it the way you want by lining these up and then going in and pushing out the fold to even it up. Alright, let's see how it looks. Oh wow, look how pretty our folder is going to be. Okay, now with this folder, I'm going to crop the corners on the end of the folder. So because I know I'm not going to have enough to fully fill the inside, I'm just going to go ahead and cut a strip for 8.5. So 8.5. And then I want this to be torn. Because, you know, why not? Why not add some character? And I guess if we wanted to, we could put this on the outside, couldn't we? The nice thing about this is it's not as thick as the cardstock. The cardstock, you're going to need some form of folding. You can use this. If you do not have this, you can use a ruler and this. If you have just a ruler, it has to be a firm ruler though. It can't be like a soft ruler. You can place your ruler on here and then run this along the edge of your ruler and it works just as well. So you do not have to have a folding board. So I think I do want this on the outside, and I'm going to fold this one to go on the inside. What do you guys think? I hope you guys love it. I am going to have to trim some of this one, but that is okay. because when you fold this together, it obviously has a bunch of excess. So let's go ahead and trim that off. So I'm just going to push it up to where this doesn't go underneath the lip. As you can see, that white right there is underneath. Again, I have a very dull blade on here. There, that is a perfect fit. All right, this is ready to go. So if you're not using a sewing machine, I would suggest using a little bit more glue. I'm using a sewing machine, so I don't need that much. All right. I just line the edges and put a dot in the middle so it doesn't move around in the middle all crazy like. Alright, I'm going to get a clip for this and let it dry. There's a little overhang there. That's fine. You can always trim it later if you like. So I went ahead and grabbed some binder clips to let this dry. It won't take long. It's quite warm where I'm standing anyway, so this still needs one for the outside. And it needs to be, we don't need these anymore. It should be decently dry, as you can see. Alright. So we're going to put him on here. So we're going to say we got 7 1/4. So let's make it 7 1/4 by 3 inches. That sounds pretty good. I'm going to do this one 3 inches. So I just did 3 1/2 instead of 3 by 8 1/2. Okay. Let's try this again. Alright, much better. Now I'm going to fold this in half. Alright, time to glue all these together. Now remember, I'm doing mine on the sewing machine, so that's why I'm not applying an outrageous amount of glue. If I was not doing it on the sewing machine, I would be adding a bit more glue. Now I'm just going to stick this under here. See that white sticking out? I'm just going to barely rest it, push, and that white comes right off. Perfect. We're going to do the same thing with this side. We have a little bit of hangover or overhang. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Alright, this one is nearly ready. And I'm just going to do this one on my own time, and I will film it for you guys or take some photos and let you see. I want to finish out this one and call it a day. So, I got this. I went through my stuff and I dug this out for my, for this. Before I attach it, I'm going to sew around this as well. No, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and sew around it like that. I do, however, before we go, obviously, I want to use one of these cards. I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to whack off a little bit. I probably just shouldn't be using that much, but, and then I'm going to right there. All right. And then, because they're so little, this one is on here, I want to use this. Which means this has to be approximately the same size. I guess I could have just, that's okay. I want to reinforce it because I know that this is going to take the brunt of some of the crap that this has got to go through. 3 by 2.5. Perfect. 3 by 2.5. And as you could tell while we were looking at this, it's severely crooked. That's okay. I am going to actually cut off a little bit more of this down to 1 inch. For a reason. Because I'm going to tear a itty bit off the bottom here. Just itty bit. Perfect. That way it'll match the tear marks on there. And it'll overhang just enough. So let's go ahead and glue this cardstock, our little card, in there. Alright, now we have a nice little tab. But before we go ahead and start sewing anything, let's break out our corner chomper. Woohoo! And start chomping all our corners. Now we have an adorable little file folder. Alright, I'm going to stick this on the sewing machine. I will be back. And of course, right as I finish, an airplane goes over. So, alright, we are finished with the sewing machine. Look at our little adorable file folder. Now you can put this on like this. You can put it on like this. It is personal preference. Now, I think, first I was liking it like this, but now I think I'm really enjoying it. Maybe even in the middle. No, I don't like it. Yeah, right there. Not quite in the middle, but just almost in the middle. And we're just gonna go ahead and glue the turd out of this, the gunk out of it. You know, just glue it till you can't glue no more. Alright. I think there's a country song that's shake until you can't shake no more. And we're going to go ahead and push it into place. I got some glue on my fingers. I'm just going to rub them together to get them off. Perfect, guys. Alright, we need some Tim Holtz stickers. You know, I really like the white feel, but I think we need some black stickers for this one. Let's see here. And perfect, right off the bat, make it happen. I think I want that to be this New Year's resolution. So we're going to make it happen. We're going to try as hard as we can to strive for our dreams. Alright guys, look at our little folder. It is so cute. It is ready for all of your stuff. If you want to do a little like elastic around it, maybe to keep it closed. Sorry about that. To keep it closed, depending on what you decide to put into it. You know, you can use a binder clip to keep it closed. You can make a little elastic to go around it, similar to like a hair tie. I mean, look how perfect that fits over it. Yes, I did just take down my hair. Oh, that's kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, that's, if you want to go through with ink and ink the edges, I mean, this came out wonderfully perfect. It's really sturdy, nice and thick. It will last you a while. You can take maybe some of your favorite papers and toss them in there, and just go ahead and clip it and stick it in your file or whatever. Alright guys, I hope that was fun for you. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.